Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of MOLEK-SYNTEZ. We're gonna make Kojic acid today, hopefully, anyway. What is Kojic acid? I still don't know, it's a chelating agent. Chelating? 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 It's a mystery, who knows? Alright, we gotta look up, what the hell is a chelating agent? Chemical compounds that react with metal ions to form a stable, water-soluble complex. Okay, but how do I pronounce it? Chelatung? I never would have guessed that.
Chelating.
Chelating. Really?
Chelating.
So, okay, I'm looking at like the Google pronunciation thing. And it's spelled Keeleitunng. I've never heard Tuhng.
Chelating.
Ting. Really? That's some weirdo transcription alphabet they're using there, in my opinion. Anyway, so back to real life, i.e. this game. What are we making? I mean, you see a bunch of carbons in a row and you think like, benzene, right? But it doesn't actually look very much like benzene. First of all, there's this oxygen in the middle. Second, the bonds aren't right. Right? So this kind of looks more like it would be made with something else, hopefully. Although I'm still not sure what exactly. Like, I don't know. What about like acetone? Like this part here could be acetone, right? That would be one thing that would be sort of interesting. And this part here could be another acetone. We'll have to fiddle with the bonds a bit. And that leaves us with COOO. A bit tacky, and no, it just leaves us with two oxygens, yeah. Because I made one here and one here. And they have two oxygens just to append in some random place. It doesn't seem great. I wonder if it is better to start with benzene and take this carbon out and put it over here and then do some kind of rotating trick to apply several oxygens. I don't know, you still have to fix the bonds in this, like it's not ideal. You'd have to shuffle around a lot of hydrogens. Oh, also the problem with acetones is that they have like a million hydrogens in them, which we would basically need to remove all of to attach up to the rest of the molecule, right? Because most of these carbons have very few hydrogens. But like, what do you do? Start with benzene? It's not like it's great. I guess the question of working out the bonds in the benzene is not that big an issue, because when you remove the hydrogens, the bonds will sort of sort themselves out. I mean, the other thing that occurs to me, and I'm sure this is a little bit too ambitious for my skill level, is that, like, you know what has 4 oxygens in it? Sulfuric acid, right? I mean, of course, 1 water also has 4 oxygens in it if you just pull 4 off separately. But I was just thinking, like, wouldn't it be kind of neat to, like, take the sulfur out of sulfuric acid just to get more oxygen? I don't think it really would be all that neat. I don't think it would be very useful. I gotta say, by the way, guys, there's just no way I'm gonna finish this whole game on this series. I've managed it for like 1 or 2 Zachtronics games. This one does not strike me as the one that I'll be amazing at. So, I guess it's a little late to warn you, but if you're gonna be irrevocably harmed by not seeing this through to the end, go watch someone else, is my opinion. Alright, so what are we doing here? It's just like, no matter where the oxygens come from, moving them around is going to be a big hassle, isn't it? And I'm just torn on like whether to start with benzene or try to find some clever acetone idea. Like, so, I mean, maybe an acetone is not so bad if you start with an emitter pointed at the oxygen from like this direction, right? So say we do something like this and we put an emitter here at 1. It's not all that hard to go like make this go left and remove 2. Go right and remove 3. Oops, too many of these. Right, like it's not exactly elegant, but there you go. These are now correct, right? Ready to bond with the rest of the finished product, sort of, made to order. Okay, maybe craziest thought I've ever had, but what if we did something a little bit different here? Bear with me, we'll see whether this bears fruit. But I was thinking something like this. Hang on, put this down here. Right? Just use one of these guys. These acetone emitters, and in fact I can even do better. Don't add a thing there. Right? No, I removed the wrong number from here. So something like this. Oh, don't push again, I guess. Yeah. So what does this do to the bonds? Are they all messed up, or they look about right? There's this little problem right now that this oxygen is bonded too strongly to here, and the carbon is bonded not strongly enough to here. But I think that will all resolve itself once we fix the number of hydrogens on these 2 carbons. This system will find a better equilibrium. Right now there is no equilibrium for it to find, and so it's kind of settled on this wrong configuration. but we can give it a right configuration and it should become happier, right? Which is something like once you're here, we need to remove all three, I guess. Oh, but then it'll bond too tightly to this? Right, if I just do this, right, we formed too strong a bond here, and it's going to be tough to fix that. So I think we just want to form a single bond here for the moment. Well, actually, we could just have an oxygen emitter lying here. It's not the greatest, but, or a water, I mean. Kind of just lying here and here. That was too soon, right? We want it to happen at the same time as this. Now there's an oxygen in place that wants to bond, but I don't actually know how it'll choose between the two available friends it has, right? Yeah, it happens to have chosen the carbon. So we kind of need this carbon actually to still have two hydrogens, and then we'll remove another one later. So don't do this. Right? And we'll have 6 kind of scoot over here. And only now, when this carbon is not willing to receive any more bonds, is it safe to add a hydrogen here? Wait, what the hell happened to this stuff up here? Oh no! Wait, what? Yeah. Like, right? Maybe it's fine still. It's probably not, though. This stuff has all bonded funny now. Because this... Adding a carbon, a hydrogen to this carbon has made it undesirable for this carbon to stay bonded there, and it's found new friends up here. Ugh. It might work itself out as we like adjust what's going on here, although I don't really think so. Maybe. I don't really understand the mechanics involved here, but what if at this stage wait, I added one. This would be a remove. That's why everything's so weird, I think. Okay, but it has to come later. Okay, yeah. Now we didn't disrupt anything. Got it. And one should be heading over here to remove 2 more hydrogens. But we still can't get this oxygen to bond. Why? I mean, it's satisfied with its carbon bonds, I guess, and its neighbor, the carbon, is satisfied. The fact that this carbon down here is unsatisfied does not really get transmitted up to this oxygen, I guess. I mean, we can sort of brute force it, I think. We can make this carbon adjust its bonds by temporarily adding a hydrogen to this oxygen. That will make it rebond here. Then when we remove that hydrogen again, it'll come back together, right? So we want something like here is where, oops, is where it is, right? I'm not sure exactly at what point in the cycle this should be happening. Let's say something like here. I think it should be anytime after this rotation, really. Something like this. Well, no, we have to wait for this double bond to have happened, right? Which is here. There we go. Now, these two have resolved themselves correctly. And the oxygen is now what's deficient, which is perfect, because one is about to set that up. I guess I should have added here a hydrogen, right? Yeah. Now, would you believe it? Everything is correct except that we need another oxygen here. And we've used very little in terms of resources, right? 3 emitters, 2 precursors, a lot of cycles, and a lot of symbols. But I hope we'll do well on modules. Now, the last remaining question is how to get the final oxygen in place. I think that is an easy question to answer. We need to add at least one more module, I think. Well, in principle, perhaps we could reuse this water emitter. Like, that's a bold play, but maybe it could be done. If we could, like, swing the whole thing into place to attach there. I don't immediately see how you could do that, but maybe. But anyway, we have to add a module like another water, basically, if we're not going to be able to do that. And then once we have that, it's very easy with like number 2 here to just fix things up on this end with the extra water. So let's do the simple solution first, I guess, which is put some water here. Here. I've got my finger on the screen now, so I don't lose that spot. You guys can't see it, but I'll remember. It's right there. Okay, and 2, just after it's, actually, honestly, before all this work happens, it could just, all it has to do is remove 1 hydrogen here, and then go like right, right, left, left, I think. It looks like I missed. Let's go right, 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 left, left, left. There. We now have, is it really truly exactly the right molecule? It sure looks like it to me. And we have one idle emitter who can submit it once everyone else is done. Is everyone still in place where they started? No, one has drifted quite a bit. He should have gone right, not left, apparently. Yeah. What? Oh, 6 doesn't go back where he belongs. Well, like, how about then? Oh, 6 can't submit it from here. Ha 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 ha. Come back. Alright, so what I'm going to do is have 6 start here and begin by moving right once, so that in his end position he'll be aiming at the right molecule. Right. I seem to have made him move the same direction twice. Whatever. I guess I did need to do that because I needed him here. But he has plenty of time to get back. Everybody happy this time? Very good. Yeah. Shockingly low on modules. That was what I was going for. Obviously. But I feel like we could do better. Oh. One time in history, these molecules were classified in different ways. Some were given away for... Oh, different. Some were given away, others cost a fortune. And some were illegal. Ha! I had to guess, like, partway through that sentence, where he was going with it. Like, class in different ways from each other, you read that differently from different ways from how they are now, right? I said classed in different ways, like meaning ways different from how they are now. But where the sentence was actually going was, once upon a time, these were classified in different ways, meaning like they were made to be different from each other. So, I don't know. This is why books have more than one line per page, right? You can understand what's happening and skip ahead if something's confusing. Or maybe just, like, write the sentences better. LOL. But, okay. So I wanted to see if we can do this with just the one water. Because that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? It's hard to visualize. Like, we need to wait for things to get to this stage. No, even further. This stage. But this oxygen isn't here, right? And ask, is there some way we could, like, comfortably rotate the whole thing so that this carbon swings over to this oxygen? And I think that there must be a way, right? Like, 2 rotates it a bit and, like, maybe pulls it to keep it from bumping. And then, like, maybe 1 rotates it from there. I don't know. We'll see. So, first of all, 2 can just start here and not have this whole business. And don't do this either. What on earth have I done? Oh, he was supposed to start here. I moved him too far. And now, like, don't submit it. Try having to rotate this whole thing. Collides with the wall. Well, move then, silly. Yeah, we could even rotate it again from here. And actually, maybe if one rotates it, it'll be in a pretty good spot. Oh, look at that. It's almost perfect. Isn't it? It's a little hard to visualize rotated, but this carbon is the one, so it's supposed to be off like here basically. So from this angle, if one pushed it and then two pushed it, we'd be home. Now this is definitely not the most elegant way to get things into position, but it actually works, which is a big improvement on like what I had imagined we might get to. Oh no, we by pushing it, we made the another acetone. Oh, but that's fine. Instead of having to push it, we'll have 6 push the other direction, right? So at some point, 6 has to like come in here and remove this, right? And then he's gonna push it into place and he's gonna go back to his job. Ah, we can't afford to remove that just yet. Ah. We can't afford to remove it early at all, is that correct? Well, what's going wrong here? Oh, I haven't even tried adjusting it. Yeah. Okay, so all we have to do is, like, yeah, before you push it into place, remove hydrogen from it. And there you go. Problem solved, yeah? Very, very pretty. We can make it a little bit simpler by having 6 just start here and stay here now that it's not doing that weird thing it was doing before. Okay, yeah, so in some ways this is elegant, right? In other ways it's a bit ham-handed. But like definitely should do pretty well on modules. Yeah, 5. Oh, that's right. The reason I wanted to go back was to turn on, show me the top percentile, please. How am I doing compared to the top percentile on this one? I'm sure someone's like done it with 4, but it's hard to imagine 3. Oh, yeah, top percentile is 5, so we're in the 1%, baby. The 1% of the 1%. Obviously pretty disastrous on cycles, but that's okay. This was a fun little minimalist solution in a way. I mean, looking at it again, what is 2 really doing? Is there some way that we could get someone else to do this? It's to get like 1 or 6 to do it, right? To have 2 not have to do anything, I mean. It's pretty hard. You'd have to like rotate the whole thing around to make that oxygen accessible to anyone else, I think. Yeah, I'm happy enough with this. All right, there you go. There's kojic acid. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.